If you think modern pocket change can't hide six-figure drama, think again. In the next few minutes, we're cracking open two Washington quarters that look ordinary, sound ordinary, and spend ordinary, yet in the right condition or with the right mistake, they explode into some of the most hunted modern U.S. coins ever made. This is the kind of story where microscopic details decide whether you're holding 25 cents or a life-changing collectible, and once you hear it, you'll never look at a quarter the same way again. 1990 D Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. The 1990 D Washington Quarter is a perfect example of how modern coinage can quietly evolve into a numismatic battleground. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series that began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1990, the design was already deeply familiar to the American public, yet the coin was being produced at a scale and precision that created a sharp divide between common circulation pieces and elite survivor specimens. On the obverse, John Flanagan portrait of Washington faces left, with strong emphasis on realism rather than heroic exaggeration. The sculptural detail of Washington's hair, especially above the ear and along the tied ribbon, plays a critical role in grading. Liberty arcs across the top, while I in God We Trust sits to the left of Washington's neck. The date 1990 rests cleanly at the bottom, and just above it, slightly to the right of the truncation, is the D mint mark, quietly identifying Denver as the source. The reverse continues the iconic heraldic eagle design. The eagle stands proud with wings spread, clutching arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness, while olive branches beneath represent peace. United States of America crowns the top, E pluribus unum floats above the eagle, and quarter dollar anchors the bottom. On most circulated examples, the eagle's breast feathers and the arrows blur quickly, but on top-tier coins, these details are razor-sharp and command immediate attention. Mintage for the 1990 D quarter was massive, with well over 500 million pieces struck. On paper, that number screams common, and in circulated grades, it absolutely is. Millions were released into commerce, spent, scraped, and worn down through everyday use. But numismatics is never about how many were made. It's about how many survived in exceptional condition. And this is where the 1990 D becomes interesting. In mint state grades, especially MS-67 and above, population numbers collapse. Denver quarters from this era often suffered from weak strikes and bag marks, making flawless examples extremely difficult to find. Coins with fully struck hair detail on Washington and crisp eagle feathers on the reverse are scarce, and those certified at the top of the grading scale can bring startling prices. The true stars of the 1990 D lineup are error coins. Among the rarest and most valuable are off-metal strikes. A 1990 D quarter accidentally struck on a foreign or incorrect planchet immediately becomes a five-figure conversation piece. Even more dramatic are double die obverse errors, where doubling is visible in the lettering of Liberty or the date. Strong, naked-eye visible doubling pushes these coins far beyond novelty status and into elite collector territory. Another major rarity is the broad strike error. These coins were struck without the retaining collar, causing the metal to spread outward. On a quarter, this creates a wider, flatter coin with distorted legends, and when combined with a strong strike and minimal wear, these pieces can sell for thousands. Off-center strikes, particularly those showing 50% or more of the design while retaining the full date and mint mark, are also intensely collectible. Market value for the 1990 D quarter spans a dramatic range. Circulated examples are face value. Even typical uncirculated pieces in MS-63 or MS-64 often sell for only a few dollars. But once you reach MS-67, prices can jump into the high hundreds or low thousands, depending on eye appeal and strike quality. Error coins, especially dramatic or rare types, can exceed $10,000 and in exceptional cases, climb far higher. Collector demand for the 1990 D is fueled by registry set competition. Advanced collectors chasing top population Washington quarter sets are willing to pay aggressively for the finest known examples. Because modern coins were rarely saved with perfection in mind, the supply of elite specimens is permanently limited. That imbalance between demand and supply is exactly what transforms an everyday coin into a modern numismatic heavyweight. The 1990 D Washington quarter proves that rarity isn't always about age. Sometimes, it's about survival, precision, and the smallest imperfections that turn a mass-produced coin into a singular artifact of the U.S. Mint's immense machinery. 1990 P. Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. The 1990 P. Washington Quarter, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, carries its own quiet power in the modern numismatic landscape. Unlike earlier decades when Philadelphia coins lacked mint marks, by 1990 the P mint mark was standard, proudly displayed on the obverse just above the date. This simple letter fundamentally changes how collectors evaluate and pursue the coin. Philadelphia produced an enormous number of quarters in 1990, again reaching into the hundreds of millions. These coins flooded circulation nationwide, becoming one of the most common quarters Americans used throughout the 1990s and early 2000s. Yet, just like its Denver counterpart, the Philadelphia issue hides extraordinary rarity at the highest levels of preservation and within a narrow band of spectacular mint errors. Design-wise, the 1990 P mirrors the classic Washington quarter layout. Flanagan Washington bust remains the focal point, and in top-grade examples, the sharpness of the cheek, jawline, and hair detail is critical. On Philadelphia strikes, collectors often note slightly better average strikes compared to Denver, but this also means grading standards are unforgiving. Any weakness or contact marks stand out immediately under magnification. The reverse eagle design on the 1990 P is especially scrutinized. Fully separated arrow shafts, defined talons, and crisp feather texture elevate a coin dramatically in grade. Many coins that look clean at first glance fail to meet the strict criteria for MS67 or higher because of microscopic abrasions from mint handling. Where the 1990 P truly shines is in the error category. One of the most famous and valuable errors associated with Philadelphia quarters from this era is the double die obverse. Doubling in the word liberty or in I in God we trust can range from subtle to dramatic, and strong examples are exceedingly rare. When clearly visible without magnification, these coins become centerpiece items in advanced error collections. Clipped planchet errors are another highlight. These occur when the metal strip used to punch out blanks overlaps a previously punched hole, resulting in a curved or straight clip missing from the coin. A well-centered 1990 P quarter with a large, clean clip and full design detail can command thousands, especially if it remains uncirculated. Off-center strikes on 1990 P quarters are also highly prized. Collectors look for coins struck at 40 to 60% off-center with the date and mint mark fully visible. These dramatic errors showcase the minting process gone wrong and offer instant visual appeal that drives competitive bidding. In terms of market value, the baseline is again modest. Circulated 1990 P quarters are worth face value. Typical uncirculated examples trade for a small premium. But once certified at MS67 or MS68, values escalate quickly. High-grade examples can sell for hundreds or even several $1,000s, particularly when population reports show only a handful known at that level. The top two rare and valuable categories for the 1990 P are elite condition coins and major mint errors. A flawless MS68 quarter with exceptional eye appeal can rival or exceed the value of many older, historically famous coins. Meanwhile, unique or near-unique errors can break into five-figure territory, especially when accompanied by strong certification and provenance. Collector demand for the 1990 P is intense among modern specialists. Washington Quarter Registry sets demand perfection, and Philadelphia issues are essential for completing high-ranking sets. Error collectors, meanwhile, pursue these coins for their dramatic departures from standard production, turning mistakes into masterpieces. What makes the 1990 P Washington Quarter especially compelling is its deceptive nature. It looks ordinary, feels ordinary, and spins ordinary, yet in the right state of preservation or with the right error, it becomes extraordinary. It represents the modern era of numismatics, where technology, mass production, and microscopic details collide to create some of the most exciting collectible opportunities in U.S. coinage today. Together, the 1990 In 1990, P. Washington quarters stand as proof that modern coins are not just spare change. They are historical documents, mechanical experiments, and, in rare cases, silent jackpots waiting to be discovered.